Well, we all know that college is expensive. Kristina Ellis was one of the millions of people who had no way to pay for a higher education on her own, so she earned her way.
That's right, and now she's helping other people. She's got a new book out called Confessions of a Scholarship Winner. It's a book you want to pick up because she apparently raised, what, over $500,000 for her college education?
Yes.
I say her in third person. You're right here.
Yeah.
Good to meet you. I wanted to first go back to the beginning of your story. Your father passed away when you were 7. That's when your mother tells you, you have to figure out a way to pay for your own college education. Obviously not at 7 years old, but over a series of couple of years, you guys went below poverty level and things were really rough. It was really tough, and you knew that in order to go to college, you had to get your own money. How in the world did you unearth $500,000 worth of money for scholarships?
Well, like you said, my mom, she sat me down the first day of my freshman year of high school and she said, I love you, I believe in you, but there's no way I can support you financially after you graduate. So you need to start thinking about how you're going to pay for college. You know, and that was really hard to hear in the moment, but it was great because it motivated me to figure out a plan and a strategy for winning scholarships and standing out in the process. So I just started diving in, doing research, reading books, and figuring out what it takes to win.
I think that the opening of that conversation, the honesty your mother had about what's obviously a very heartbreaking topic for her, was very important. I hope other parents will listen to that's a good age to start being honest. What's the first step for somebody who really wants to find a scholarship, somebody that wants to give themselves the best chance?
The first step is to start early. You know, scholarship applications are judged on your entire high school experience. So the sooner you start looking for scholarships and digging around, the more time you have to plan and figure out how you can stand out. You can start committing to activities, doing volunteer work, building your grades, and doing what it takes to really build a resume and an application that will catch judges' attention and help you stand out and possibly win scholarships.
Right.
Okay, and then did you do the same thing pretty much with all of the scholarships you applied for? Or did you change things up in terms of the story that you told them about your past and your life, or how you approached the scholarship itself? What was your MO with that?
Well, I changed it up because each scholarship they have different missions and goals that they're supporting. So, you know, you want to dig into a scholarship's website and figure out what are they giving a scholarship away for, what are their goals, who are they looking for in winners, and cater the application to it. So some scholarships are very community service oriented, and I logged over 1,000 hours of community service in high school. So I applied for several scholarships that fit that criteria and talked about what I did. Some were talking about work ethic, so I talked about my job and what I did in high school. And some are just kind of random. There are some really bizarre scholarships out there. There's a zombie apocalypse escape plan scholarship. Scholarships for being tall and short and duck calling. So it just kind of depends on the scholarship program.
You cannot be a person
calling.
that...
Duck calling. My son's going to start practicing his duck calls now.
You cannot be a private person when you're applying for these scholarships because you really have to open yourself up, tell your story, talk about yourself a lot more than you would normally be talking about in order to get some of these scholarships, right?
Yeah, and it's okay to talk about your struggles. If you've overcame obstacles and you've had a tough time, but you succeeded and you pushed through and now you're ready to go to college, it's okay to mention that to judges. A lot of students don't want to tell their story because they're embarrassed or they're timid and they don't feel like, you know, they're good enough. But that's okay because if you are at that spot where you are ready to apply to college and you have overcame those obstacles, they want to see that. They want to see your character and what makes you tick.
Last question for you. You mentioned in the book to create your own opportunities. What do you mean by that?
Well, you know, a lot of students look at their high school and they're like, you know what, there's nothing I'm really interested in. You know, I don't want to do sports or I don't want to do this club that they have. If that's you, you can create your own opportunities. You know, I'm from a smaller town and like I said, I did a lot of volunteer work, but at some point, you know, I kind of ran out of opportunities to do.
Places to volunteer, yeah.
So I was like, what can I do? And I actually started a shoe drive where I sent shoes overseas to Haiti and Tanzania. And the cool thing about that is that it's really unique. You know, when you create your own opportunities, a lot of other people applying for scholarships, they haven't done that, so you stand out in your application.
And they figure if you've taken that much initiative to do something like that before you get into college, what could you do for that institution? That's really smart. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
$500,000, smart. All right, make sure to pick up a copy of her book. It's called Confessions of a Scholarship Winner.
Good to have you with us. Great info.